Every Sunday, side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here, relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gasp at mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands with the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Carino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
All right, all you retro hippie groovers and movers and car freaks out there. It's not a Mustang song. It's called Flash Falcon. But we're playing that in honor of our co-host this week. We got a special sit-in. Matcoman Brian is in the house. Brian, how are you?
Hey, guys. How you all doing today?
All right. I know you've had a, I realize people have vastly different mornings. You know, you seem to be the kind of guy, you're up, you're out early, you're at car meets, you're hanging around, pressing the flesh. Me, I roll out of bed, get dressed, I go to the chiropractor. I got the hippest chiropractor in town, meaning he gets my hips in shape. He gets them back in shape. He knows how to readjust them. So big shout out to Dr. Mike Goodman. Great doctor.
I'm up and out the door at 5:30 in the morning.
Wow. You know, most people on the weekend change the plan to maybe kind of hang around a little, play with the dogs, sleep in, read the paper, do something that they can't do during the week.
No, I'm up and at 'em, and like I said, I got a list, and unfortunately, also, my bad habit, Ray, of die cast hunting. So I do hit the streets, and I do some trading and selling and whatever with that, and car shows, and stop in and check in on everybody, and then I come back home and I sit here and get ready for the radio show here. So
it just never ends.
Never ends. There's always a list. Got to keep moving. If I stop, they're going to throw dirt on me.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what people have been saying about me lately, and luckily, that's what's Chris isn't in this week. He had some family stuff to take care of. I think his daughter is babysitting him. She was babysitting him for the week, so he gets his wife back today, so things go back to normal. But so he had a whole upset in his schedule, and then luckily you're around to come in and fill the chair, because not many people can fill that chair. Not many people that, as a host, there's not many people that you want to fill that chair.
Yeah, well, hopefully I've always been the cleaner upper. Call me in at the last moment, and I'll either really make a mess or get it going.
All right. Well, it's worked so far. That's why I believe in, if it works, stick with it.
That's it.
And then just like Mikey T always said, and I know you've said too, and if it breaks, what was the last thing you touched? Because that's where you look. So
very true. Very true.
So it's a beautiful day. We got great weather again. We're really being spoiled. I know I should save it for the weather report, but I'll probably forget by then. I'm driving the convertible today, and I did actually take it to the chiropractor. I had to top up because it was all wet. But now, when the water blew off, the top is down, and I'm sure you would do the same thing if you could, but you can't roll back the roof on a tool truck. There's all those pliers and ratchets up there. It's like, that'd be a tough rollback.
No, but I thought about getting the saw out and cut in T-tops. You know what I'm saying? So get close enough.
A sunroof like in the 70s, right? Wow. Well, I tell you, if you want to get in on this fun and talk to Brian firsthand, you can do it. You just call 516-572-7440. We don't have the text line open because Chris mans that. So we should give out the number and have people text him all day. That'd be cool.
I do it anyway, so just to keep him on his toes.
I think I have it here. So do you know the number?
The number?
The text number, yeah.
Yeah, here.
I have it written down here somewhere.
We're going to get the knock it off, boys, from Chris here.
Oh, that's good. Or you can follow us on social media, Motormouth Radio on X and on Facebook with real_Motormouth Radio on Instagram, and on YouTube it's real_Motormouth Videos, and that's how that goes.
The text line is 203
Okay.
670-4127.
Nice. All right, we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with a phone call. We're gonna say hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hello, Ray and Brian.
What's up, John?
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing good, Brian. I laugh every time you're out at the Harbor Freight. Oh my God! I was in a shop the other day, and it's frightening how much U.S. General stuff is in all of the shops.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Tool carts, especially. I mean, you can't you stub your toe every time you turn around on a U.S. General's tool cart.
Yeah, and Ray, there was a Matco box, but I didn't even see a Snap-on anywhere in the shop.
Well, that's good. They're out there, unfortunately, but yeah, Harbor Freight. You can knock it all you want, but when you need it and the price is there, I can't argue with the guys on it. You just have to watch what you're buying, and hopefully you don't lose a finger sometimes.
It's all fun and games.
Very true.
But no, and I've got friends that were in the business. Oh Jesus, he's got to be in the business 60 years. And when he retired, he moved his box into his two-car garage, and it's like a fixture in there.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I get some of those phone calls from the wife when the person moves on, and they're like, "What am I supposed to do with this thing now?" So it's hard to you get upset when you sell it because you need the tools, but it's hard when you don't use it every day to have that much laying around.
Yeah, and that we're all guilty of that. That's on a major scale. But the amount of tools that I have, and I have a buddy of mine. He's a dentist. I'm lucky he knows which end of the hammer to use. But he keeps going, "What are you going to do with all these tools?" I go, "I'm sure they're probably going to go to the curb when I, hit the dirt."
Guys, I thought about this many years ago because, like all of us, it's not just tools. I mean, there's tools, there's parts, there's equipment, there's, I have Aurora cars, there's Matchbox cars, there's all those collections. In my case, I have a lot of vinyl records and stereo equipment, guns, you name it. I mean, the list just goes on and on. But I told my wife years ago, I said, if I happen to get, hit by the Q43 bus one day, what I'd be doing in Queens, I don't know, but anyway, I said, and it takes me out.
Right, that's Nassau, right?
No, those are all N buses. I said, what you do is, as a first pass, my friends that I talk to and keep in touch with regularly, and that they're all into the same things I am. So, Kevin is my buddy. We go to all the Pontiac stuff there. He's a big Pontiac guy. I said, ask him if he'll take the stuff and try and sell it for you. And if not, tell him to keep it. Whatever he wants, just keep it. I'd rather see it go to somebody who's going to have trouble passing it on. But don't just throw the stuff out, because if I kept it and if I saved it, there's a value. And only in these years I've been seeing the value of things go up surprisingly for collectible stuff that we like. Not the Hummels. Hummels actually went down. So, and that's it. So we'll see what happens.
It depends on which one. My wife's got, a pre-war where the factory got burnt down in World War II.
Right.
That her grandfather took from Italy when he moved here, and those things are still worth a lot of money. But,
yeah.
I watch, what's the show, American Pickers.
Uh-huh.
And I watch some of this stuff and I go, I wouldn't give them $1 for that.
Oh, I know.
But, I just went through my mom's estate. I closed on it a week and a half ago. And I was walking through, there were a couple odds and ends left in the house. And I saw this old lantern and went, that's a really cool lantern. It's got a red globe on it.
Uh-huh.
And I grabbed the thing. It's a 100-year-old signal crossing lantern.
Oh, wow.
They had the automatic gates, and the guy had to go out from the little shack.
Yeah.
And I started to look up what they're worth, and I went, oh, my God, some of them, like $200 to $500.
Yeah.
And the globe was still intact.
Uh-huh.
But, I spent 4 days soaking it in evapo-rust, if I'm allowed.
Right.
To get the vessel out of it, but
yeah, I know certain things. That's and that was good. So hopefully you'll my mom's old oil lamps. I use them. I light them up in the winter. I use them as oil lamps. But all right, well, thanks for that, John. We're gonna move on to cover some car stuff, and we'll talk to you.
I just wanted to say hi to Brian. I don't think I've ever caught him on the show, but it's always fun to listen to him.
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
Absolutely. Well, you got to start checking out Thursday night. I met Brian on Playing in Traffic. That's a show we are both on Thursday nights. You'll find it on YouTube and Facebook. It's Playing the letter N Traffic, and Louis Lee is our chief cheech in charge. He's the host. It was Louis and Lou Santiago years ago, and Lou left to pursue other interests. So Louis kept the platform alive. They had brought me in, and as a technical guy, believe it or not, and we're still doing it. Like 7-8 years later, we're still doing it. So you could check us out Thursday nights.
I have, and I will admit to it, but it's past my bedtime.
Oh, there you go. Brian makes me stay up late too. I know.
No, Ray makes me stay up.
Oh yeah, Isaac makes us all stay up late. But,
absolutely.
All right, John.
And back in the old days, it was a lot more fun because we were in a better place.
Yeah, a bar.
Yeah.
I didn't go there, but
I know. I know what you were thinking.
Guys, it's definitely a topless day. Get out and
Yep,
about.
got it down already. You got it. All right, John.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care, John. Thanks.
Excellent. So, we could talk about parts and collectibles till the cows come home.
There's so much, and it's all crazy. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, its only value is what somebody's going to give you for it.
True. Have you ever had somebody come on the tool truck and say, listen, I got my dad's or uncle's or brother's tools and I don't know what to do with them. Will you buy? Yeah. That has happened to you?
A lot. I've had to go over to, the house and look at it and try to assess some kind of a value. And it's very hard because, again, I told my daughters, I said, look, when the day comes, you just put $3 on everything. Every socket, every wrench, not a set, but individually, because you're going to have that person say, well, it's missing this or it's missing that, or they only want to buy 8s and 10s.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those things where, especially unfortunately, and not to sound this way, but when the wife says and has the receipts and says he spent X amount of money, they think that they're going to get that money, and it's hard for that. One reason why they come to me is because I give out credit. Somebody can, for somebody to come up with $5,000, and I make it easy on easy payments. That's hard because, a lot of people like I said, if you don't know the person and they're going to say they're going to pay you X amount to pay it off, you don't want to give it to them. So
Yeah, sure. The other thing is, I have a meme on my phone. I'll find it and I'll try and post it with this week's show, where it says something to the effect of, "I sure hope that when I'm gone, my wife doesn't sell all my stuff for what I told her I paid for it."
well, that's the double-edged sword we live on, right? I mean, that's why I always joke around about mama don't know stuff,
Yep, yep.
So but it's tough, and some people get offended, or I helped the guy out with an insurance claim.
Okay.
He had a theft, and of course I gave him his list, and of course the insurance was, well, we're going to depreciate it, and I said, well, there is no depreciation because it's got a lifetime warranty. It doesn't, the guy bought this in 1957 for X amount, and if the tool broke, I'd give him a new one.
Yeah.
And for his replacement value, he couldn't do that because they now wanted to depreciate it. And
So do you mean if I take those Snap-on double end ratchet wrenches that I have that we've shown on Playing in Traffic, the ones that look like they're plied, it's like plied metal. If I bring those onto the truck, does he have to give me the new ratchet wrenches?
well, the replacement, or he's going to give you the credit value for it.
Probably $5. Yeah, those things were so clunky. That's one tool where, in its inception, was so vastly different than what's out there today. There's others, but that's one that always.
You're talking about these guys right here, right?
Those are the ones I have them. I think I have one or two that angled. The other, I have a couple of them that are flat. They're just straight.
And everybody can check us out on YouTube and follow, make a comment, and you can see the dirty pictures.
That's what I was going to say. When you go to Play in Traffic, make sure you throw Lewis a like, a subscribe, and be like Keith. Be an honest guy. Be a guy who understands social media. Throw a comment in there. Like, help the algorithm move forward a little bit. Even
if it's just like, I don't like you, it's okay. We just need a comment.
Exactly. We'll take it.
It's easier to say something nasty than something good, right?
Well, everybody, we know everybody's like that.
I know. I shouldn't go down that road, but
so how many cars did you have at the Cars and Coffee this morning? Was it a big?
Oh, it was probably close to probably close to 100. It was pretty good. I was expecting a little bit more because of how nice it was.
Right.
I mean, the weather's just killer.
Sure.
But like I said, it's a good turnaround. There's always people coming and going, so to get an actual feel for it, if you're there as long as I am, you can see everything come through and go out.
At least you're smart enough to go in the morning. Like, I may go back tomorrow night again to the TGI Fridays I went to last week, and I mean, we're there for like an hour and a half, and the sun's going down, and now it's like cold.
Yeah.
Like, who's making a bonfire? So
there are a few that are in the back in the day, a lot of them were in the evening or nighttime.
Sure.
And unfortunately, this the Sunday morning has just, I can go do my stuff and be back home before anybody gets up. So nobody even knows I'm missing, except for the dog,
I used to do that with motorcycle rides. I'd go out and meet guys at 6 a.m. We go upstate, have breakfast. I'd come home, and it's like the house was just waking up. Like I did like 250, 300 miles and ate, So
I think let's see here. Well, it's been an hour I've been home. But I've already got let's see here. Where is it? 8,000 steps in already.
Oh, nice. Yeah, hey, that's a great.
So, I traveled a lot of ground. So,
how much coffee did you have this morning already?
I've had 3 cups, or 3 of my, and I actually really want another one, but I'm trying to cut back.
We had to go to a family party yesterday. Oh, excuse me. The cough prevails. Went to a family party and they had a Keurig machine with a bunch of different coffees and teas and all different spices and pump. Nah, but there was some Black Rifle coffee. I've always wanted to try it. I said, you know
Yeah.
what? Today's the day. I tell you, I had 2 cups of it. It was great, great. I see them sponsoring like everybody, so I got to. I got to get some of that.
I've seen that, and I thought about getting, and that I'm really bad with that because when I go grocery shopping, I'll see something and I bring it home, and next thing you know, you kind of have a mixture of all kinds of stuff, and then you get to a point where it's got to be used, so you just dump it all in one big bin, you stir it up, and
Yeah,
go for it.
that's crazy. Yeah, that can lead to some interesting flavor sensations. But this stuff I think is I don't think it's sold in the stores. I think it's sold online, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, they had. I've seen it. I've seen it at the store,
Okay, all
but
right, good.
yeah, I'm really on a blueberry hook right now.
Yeah, I was telling
I'm
my
not
wife
a
about that.
I'm not a pumpkin spice guy, but the blueberry right now. I actually got my oldest on it now. She comes down. She's about as bad as I am. 9 o'clock in the evening. You want some coffee?
Yeah,
So we already start.
pot's already on.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, but we had a lot of interesting stuff. We had I mean, that's just one thing about our area. No matter what it is, you can have a Rolls Royce with LS in it,
Hmm.
all the way to a '59 Cadillac with a Cummins diesel in it. So it's everything under the sun.
Crazy. That's crazy. Hey, you know what? I want to switch over to tool talk a little bit.
Okay.
Because there was a tool I just got from you that I haven't used yet, but I may try it today. And it's those drill tap bits. So why don't you explain what they are and how you use them, and I'll interject.
Well, they're basically a drill bit, and it's got the tip of a regular drill bit, and about halfway through, it has the thread pitch put in
Right.
to finish out, so you can self tap and put threads in what you're drilling
How many
all in
do you
one
get back-
shot.
How many do you get back broken? Because I see guys break drills less than a quarter inch all the time.
Yeah, well, a few, and most guys know let the tool do the work and don't force it. That's
Right.
the majority of with drill bits.
I think they would be cool. I have these little containers. I'll post a picture. It's a little plastic container. I got them when I was in a machine shop years ago, and that's how we bought taps. They were stored. It was a little box. You open it up, and there's little compartments, and it was a tap in each compartment. So I took some of the empty ones home, and I have some of my taps in there. That'd be great to store them in something like that. But then you need to have an empty chamber that has like a small bottle of lube, the same lube that you use for flaring a brake line or whatever, because that's going to be key to success, I think. And of course, now everybody with a power drill is going to be like, oh, I can do this in 3 seconds. No, you got to be.
Yeah, no, like I said, most guys, and I don't have a lot of fabricator guys or whatever, but there a lot of the body guys like them, especially it's really good, and I've used it on a few pieces of thicker plastic
Oh
to
yeah,
put up flarings or to put up the under panel or whatever.
sure.
When you, especially when you don't have some of the German cars have those U-clip thread that slide in, and
Oh, yeah, the cage nut that's on the
the
other.
cage, yeah, and they rust and fall apart or
I
get
love
lost, and
Yeah.
sometimes you just need something with a little bit of thread, and it works.
So when I had my Mazda 3, that year, I don't know if they changed the design or something, but it had a panel, an underbelly panel that kind of went, around back to the wheels, and you had to remove it to do an oil change. And there was actually a cutout a door that you could move for the oil filter, but the oil filter in the car was offset away from it. It wasn't right over the hole. Somebody screwed up with the door. So anyway, you had to take that panel down, and it wasn't too long, a couple of years. Next thing you know, one of the cage nuts was there was a combination of plastic rivet nuts and then a couple of screws, and they would rust and break. So I put new ones in. I'd always use never sees on them,
Yeah.
and it would never fail to happen. The next time I did an oil change, yeah, that never sees was gone. I guess it was in such a spot where the water and and rain and all and snow whatever would wash it. But yeah, real pain in the
It
neck.
was all those shortcuts over the medium driving through the taller grass, right?
Well, not in that car. That car I wish I could have. That's why I got the FJ. Nothing stops me in that thing. Give me something to get in my way. I'll show you. So,
Nobody's got patience. I watched a guy drive all the way down the median strip the other day, and
oh wow.
the funny part is at the end of the whole session, we both ended up at the light together after he
course.
passed about 20 cars. So I still don't know how I got next to him in the tool truck, but
And now he had a signpost sticking through his floor into the back seat, a branch through the oil pan, 9 pounds of leaves stuck up under the exhaust manifold that's going to burn, 3 chickens and 2, a couple goats that were stuck in the suspension.
And then I just turned around and looked at him. I said, well, how did that work out for you? And so, oh, well.
Slick move, buddy. Slick move. Oh, boy. Yeah. So those, I'm very interested to try them because I have a tool. Now I'm going to start selling stuff on eBay. I have to move stuff out. And one of the things I have, it's called a Versa Tapper, and it's made, you'd use it on a milling machine. It mounts in the chuck on the mill and actually centers, and it's a powered tap driver. So, when you do stuff, like it's in production work.
One of the only things that you got to watch out for, and this is probably the biggest problem, it's got a N on it to go into a hex driver.
I see that
type thing. You can also use a regular drill, but you want to watch out because a lot of these hex driving stuff is impact, and you got to be careful when you're drilling with the impact that way because it's doing the hitting and drilling at the same time, and it's not really you could break some stuff.
The drill end isn't made for hitting like a concrete, what's the name of those drills? A concrete type drill would be
right.
Because there's the inserts, and the tap certainly is not made for being banged as you.
I mean, that's probably if I can catch it before I sell it to the guy, or if I see what he's going to use, you can prevent a lot of the problem. But those impact drivers, which are great, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that not one tool really does everything. Sometimes you need to have 2.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. That's true. Well, I'll be using a little drill. So I got to find something to just tap. I don't know. I'm going to do something. I got scrap metal. Just got a piece of aluminum or something.
I just go down in the garage and make a lot of noise and some metal shavings and make something, even though nothing comes out of it. It just, you release some tension.
Well, I'm playing with another carburetor. The olds that we're working on in the shop. We drove it to the transmission place. That's where Gary is. Gary, who's listening but won't call because he's too shy. Nice shop, by the way. But the carburetor, they put this on the car in 2015. And I just rebuilt it. It's not responding. You can drive the car and you'll sit there and idle, but as you drive and come off the gas and slow down to an idle, it wants to stall. So you got to pop it in neutral. So I saw that the carburetor had been a mishmash of, they kind of blocked off some passage inside. It was a little bit of a later carburetor for that car. So I found an earlier one in my stash, took it apart, cleaned it, and I'm gonna swap it over. But I'll tell you what, until then, we can get back to that. It's the bottom of the hour. We need to take a break. I don't have the cross promote book. So I'll tell you that, what, coming up after this show is Kim Tracy. And of course, people know that because they love her show better than ours. It's Thunder Road, Best of Springsteen in a Band. And whatever bands people in the band played with. So it really is a wide-reaching show. People love it. It is a great show. And our weather, which is beautiful today, like John said, topless day. The weather forecast is powered by Pantano's Gourmet with locations in Hewlett and Uniondale. I'm looking out the WHBC weather window, and yeah, it's fall. I can see the leaves. It's beautiful and sunny. They said high of 74, probably. Kim didn't have a cross promote, so I did your show.
Well, thank you. You do have cross promote, right? Yeah.
I know, but I don't have the book.
Where's the book?
I don't know.
Right here.
I'm used to having the book over. See, you move something on me and I can't find it.
That's where it's
Is Kim going to talk about the Bruce on Hulu, right?
Hang on, Brian. Say that again.
I think Bruce is having a special with Bruce, and it's going to be on Hulu and Disney Plus. Is coming.
Kim is saying yes, it is absolutely.
Yep. See, I'm on top. I can help her out if she needs a stand-in.
Say that again.
I can help her out if she needs a stand-in.
Brian looking across from her on everybody's show. Yeah.
Brian, you can guest DJ one day for sure.
There we go, right?
Absolutely.
I always thought Brian was a bass player. He just looks like a bass player, but he's not.
You know what? Bass players are taller and lankier generally.
There's been some kind of, there's been, he can handle a long scale bass. Without a doubt.
Slowly but surely, I'm taking over the station. Don't worry.
I know. We'll get you show by show, right? So, yeah, the weather, it's a high of 74. I think we hit that tonight. Oh, look, I had to cross front for my own show. Well, that's why good. And then the rule says if you pull your own show, just do somebody else's. So I did. I followed the rules. Thank you. Excellent. Tonight's going to be clear. Low in the 50s. Sunny again tomorrow. No rain in sight. Watch those cigarette butts out car windows, you smokers, because we are in an alert for not bonfires per se, but flash fires on the road. There's a lot of dry stuff out there. So did you, Brian, I don't know if you prepared with, are you ready to step in for Chris and do an honor group or?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I just thought of it and I was like, I don't know.
Hey, you did last time. That's why I figured I'd ask. It's, I just figured I'd give it a shot. All right. So listen, we'll play these little bits and we'll be back in about a minute or so with more Motormouth Radio with your hosts, Ray Guarino and Matcoman Brian today because Chris is out. So keep it where you got it. And this song I know is Brian's favorite. He requests it all the time. And this is the one that's just going to follow him forever. So on Motormouth Radio, 90.3 WHPC.
Shake hands with danger. Meet a guy you ought to know. I used to laugh at safety. Now they call me Three-Finger Joe. I was young and feisty, never did things by the book.
Your car not running right? Let the Motormounts help you out at 516-572-7440.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
Okay, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my buddies at, what's the name of it again?
Motormouth Radio.
Hey, Mark Warman here from Graveyard Cars, hanging out with my friends at Motormouth Radio. Sunday morning, I don't know what this fat bald guy's laughing about. You'll forget stuff soon enough too, my friend. Be sure to listen. When are you guys on? 10 a.m.?
Sundays at noon.
Noon on Sundays.
Excellent. This was
no, you got the promo for the best one was the first one. That's why I was because you said what was the name of this again? That's the promo.
What better presentation could you do than that?
Get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motormouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
Except today, it's Ray Guarino and Matcoman Brian, because Chris is out getting his household back together while we shake hands with danger. Brian, this is one of the best songs you ever recommended. Three-Finger Joe.
Three-Finger.
It is so true. Oh, geez.
I tell you, we all love sausage. But I've walked in a few shops and I've seen some stuff going on, but we don't want to see how it's made, so just walk right back out the door,
That's the best thing you can do. You're right.
And some of these guys, I tell them, you're going to run out of luck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now, is it because, I would venture to say it's because they didn't have the proper training somewhere along the way, right? I mean, it's got to
Some
be, right?
of it, I
Could be
mean,
just
some of it's
stupidity.
that, and some of them is, it, it's kind of like, why turn the car off? It just takes a minute to turn that screw,
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
you know, and you do it once, you're all right. But the second time your coat, your jacket gets caught in it, or, you know, you slip and fall in. You know, like I said, it's it's hard for some of us guys just to take an extra minute to be careful.
Well, I'll say this, you know, working in a shop, sometimes you get compliant. You just want to get to the next step. And you know that if you just kind of shortcut a little, I think we all do it. Luckily, most of us are still around that we haven't really gotten bitten by it too badly. One of the things that I'll always admit to, which is terrible, but I really work at it. I have to get the grinder or a whiz wheel or the drill, you know, and I don't go get the safety glasses. You know, they're right on the top. When I open the toolbox, they're right there.
Yeah.
And most times before I start the operation, I'll be like, all right, like I'll shame myself into it. Like, get those glasses, you jerk. And I will go get them.
Yeah. Safety glasses, unfortunately, are probably, I give a lot out. Because I walked in the shop and see a guy doing something, and it's always funny. It's not really funny, but it is funny to watch when a guy is spraying brake clean on something underneath the car with it running and the fan's blowing it all in his face. And, you know, he's like, oh, why do I do that? And I'm like, you know,
right.
Why? Yeah. Like I said, take a minute to just turn it off, but we're always in a rush.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, you know, depending the kind of shop you're in, and I'm lucky, I'm not really under a gun to get things done, but in a real not production shop, but in a real shop, cars got to be out there. They want that car out today. You know, the customer's coming at 5.
Yeah.
And a dealership is even more regimented than a shop would be. So yeah, there's that. I mean, a lot of times it's 2:30 or 3. I'm like, you know, the shop manager will see me. He's like, "You done?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going home. I'm done. I had enough." It's just like I just had enough. And usually that was when it was like really hot. I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I got to go get my shoes off and just sit outside."
Yeah, no, I used to, when I worked at the dealership, it drove me crazy because the guy would just automatically tell the customer that the car is done and never tell you. So he'd come out and say, "Hey, the guy's coming in 20 minutes." And you're like, dude, I still got to get the motor back in. So,
right.
You know, that type of stuff. But, you know, again, it is overlooked or it's hard. Safety is a big part. And, you know, there's nothing against really the technician itself. It's just that we walk on the wild side a few times and you get away with it and you will slip, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, all sorts of, and you know, and some shops are more, you know, like the owner or the manager are more prone to inflicting or infusing the safety issue than other shops. Some shops, as long as the work gets done, they don't care.
Yeah.
And other ones I know, like my friend Pat has a transmission shop in town, and he's pretty strict. You know, it's like there's a transmission place, so you look at these SUVs. I've seen them, and like, you know, the cradle is down, the axles are out, the front end is out, half the car is on the floor, and there's all sorts of fluids. It's like, no, you know what? You got to speedy dry. You got to clean that stuff up. You can't leave the Exxon Valdez down there.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And like I said, it's some of it is, you know, training. It's, you know, I had a problem when I left the dealership and worked in a secondary or I don't want to say mom and pop store, but, you know, a smaller shop.
Private shop.
Where they didn't have that, you know, somebody cleaning up or, you know, keeping an eye on stuff like that. And you're like, you got to take a couple minutes here and straighten up. And they look at you like you had two heads, but it is what it is.
You know, one of the guys, where I work, the guys are all body repair based. They don't do heavy collision work there, but they're doing, you know, panel replacement, and they were doing some, you know, some Bondo and of course a lot of polishing and whatever. And the one guy who recently left the employ of the shop for reasons we don't want to get into, It was funny because he had this really big, when he rolled his toolbox in, when I saw him come in, I was like, I thought it was a Snap-on Epic Plus. You know, it was like giant. I found out, no, it was a Harbor Freight box that he put a Snap-on badge on.
Yeah.
And if you look through it, you can see just, you know, it reminded me of, like, you ever see those ratty dogs with clumps of hair? Like, that's what the tool drawers remind me of, because it was like a spattering of hammers and like punches in this drawer and some wrenches and bits in the other drawer, and like just nothing was organized or together. And but he came over to me once. Whenever I did all, of course, I do all the mechanical stuff. So he was always impressed because in his country, him and his father did mechanical. And he'd come over, and I did some stuff, you know, getting engines run for the first time, break-ins, and, you know, top end jobs, full engine job, all sorts of crazy stuff. So he always gravitated over, especially when I did a fire up. And one day, he, you know, it was just a regular day. He happened to come over and he says, you know, I've been watching you. I can't do his accent, but he says, I've been watching you. He says, and you always, you know, you take very good care of your tools. I was like, well, sure. I said, my tools, you know, make me money. I don't want to lose them. He says, no, I noticed when you're done with the tool, you wipe it off and put it back in the drawer. I was like, yes, I do. You know, and I have wrench rails and I have socket rails. I said, and at the end of the, I mean, sometimes you put stuff on the side table or whatever, because you're going to be using it. But at the end of the job or the end of the day, everything gets wiped, cleaned, and put away. I said, that's how I know it'll be there next time. So he says, oh, I always losing tools. I said, I know, I've watched you work. And literally his stuff is all over his bed, all over his toolbox, but all over the cars and rolling carts, and there's stuff everywhere. And I said, you know, what do you lose the most of? Well, like the small picks and 8s and 10s. And I said, yeah. I said, I've watched you. You'd be in the back of an SUV taking an inner panel off, and you know, you put the drive down or the socket falls off, and I'll hear it roll and hit metal. Like it went into the inner structure of the car. Like I know where all your tools are. It's in people's quarter panels.
Yep.
Or rolls out, you know, into the shop. So I don't know if he's just too busy to pay attention, but he'll make another trip to Harbor Freight, you know, and load up, get the basket, and load up. So
yep, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's what keeps us in business.
Right. Well, that's why the Snap-on guy doesn't stop at that shop anymore, because these guys, they don't spend any money at all. You know, I thought he was, because when I saw that box, I thought for sure. And I found out, no, when I talked to my buddy, he says, no, take a look closer. So that's a, maybe, I don't know if it's, maybe it's a U.S. General. I don't think it's an icon.
Probably is.
It's a big box. I mean, the thing has got to be, I don't know, like 10 feet, you know, 8-10 feet long. It's big, big, but filled with junk. So,
yeah, they still get the credit, or they still get the advertisement when people put the sticker on. So,
right.
Might as well sell them a sticker.
You know, well, it's funny you say that, because I was Clay Kuhn. I was watching one of his videos last week. He's got a new Snap-on dealer who wears different colored contacts every week. So they could be purple, they could be pink, they could be red. You know, and the guy's got a big beard, like you, a big full beard, but his is longer and shaped. And he's got very thin hair on top. So he's got a striking look to him. And with purple contacts, it's like Transformers, you know. He's like, you just expect to see lasers coming out of him. Super nice guy. I noticed hanging from the ceiling, he had a bag with a bunch of Snap-on decals in it. And I recognized some of them as the older ones, like from when I first started buying tools back in the late 70s. So this week, we talked about this. My Snap-on quarter-inch drive ratchet was not reversing right. It was having trouble. So I made sure I found a tool guy, and he rebuilt it. But I said, hey, Bill, I said, do you keep... I saw on a show that this guy had the bags of decals. I said, do you have them? Are you getting them in? He's like, no, I can't be bothered with that. He says, I just want to sell tools. I just want to sell hard tools. I'm like, really? I said, I don't know what that bag costs. Maybe I wouldn't even buy it. Maybe it's too expensive. I said, but I saw some old school decals that caught my eye. I said, I would definitely be interested in at least checking that bag out. And he's like, oh, no, well, kind of the thought was like he was just more interested in selling tools. I said, but you know what? What's the difference if you sell a bag of stickers, a thing of beef jerky, a wrench, or, a magazine. I said, you're making money, you're making profit, and you're keeping your customers happy. So, and now this is keeping in line right with your own product. He was having none of it. I said,
Yeah.
You could probably get it online.
Like you said, though, us car guys have done this for years, right? How many actual real Z28s are out there?
Oh,
but we all put the decal on it to make it look like a Z28. So we might as well do it to our toolbox, right?
I did a car appraisal now it's 2 weeks ago, and 67 Camaro convertible. I found it was a 327 Powerglide, and the owner said right up front, he goes, the engine, it is a 327 Powerglide car, but these are not the original units. They've been changed. Okay, fine, full disclosure, great. And then I saw the picture. I said, well, you have like the SS stripe on the front and the badge. Is this an SS? He says, no, it's not. It was a base model Camaro. Because I bought it this way. Somebody put the Bumblebee stripe on with the SS and the SS on the gas tank door and the SS hood. I said, okay, so it's an SS clone. It looks great because it looks like an original car. Yep. So he wasn't representing it as original. So no problems with that. That's fine. Because the next guy would do it anyway.
Yep. So, and that's, I see it all day long, guys, bringing in, and they ask for a sticker. I give them a sticker, and next week it's on the cart or it's on the box or whatever. So we've been doing it to cars. You might as well do it to your tools. So,
years past, Chris and I had made Motor Mouth Radio decals. We made bumper stickers, full-size bumper stickers. Never saw one. Then we made like half-size ones. Never saw them. I'd see them like if somebody posted. We used to, when we made T-shirts years ago, we asked people to send us pictures with a dirty T-shirt, and we would post it. And you'd see the bumper sticker on the refrigerator in the back. Yeah, there you go. That's one of the inside clings. That one, when you peel it off, it goes inside of it. We feel maybe people don't want to put them on because cars have painted bumpers. Got it. You don't want to put it on the rear window. Got it. We made the inside clings. I've seen a couple. My friend Glenn, we made thousands, and I've only seen a handful. So you got to wonder, but we'd see them in guys' shops on toolboxes, and it's like trying to get the word out. So what I did is, back when we did that, I didn't rent a lot of cars, but nice. Oh yeah, there's a stack for you. That's a stack. Every time, black and the white. That's beautiful, beautiful. Every time I rented a car, I put one on the back window of the car. I promoted myself. So
yeah,
whatever.
But honestly, guys love stickers.
Yeah.
I not to knock anybody, but I had ordered. I ordered from a catalog, performance company, and spent some money, and I was more excited waiting to see what stickers I got, and there was none. Those days are over, I guess. But
no.
They used to throw in a few stickers. So
now, actually, I've bought a couple holsters, and they all include a sticker. Unfortunately, it's like the name of the company, C&G or something. So I don't know what it is unless you know what it is.
Yeah.
But regardless, no, I had a couple of older. I had a couple of older. What do you call it? You know what? I see something flashing. Let's do this. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the phones and say hi. You're on the Motor Mouth.
Hey, Rick, Brian, Glenn.
Glenn, he's surfaced.
Hey, Glenn, how are you?
Talking stickers.
Yes, sir.
And no name cars. I don't have a Z28, but
no, but you got that groovy Camaro.
Never put the tags on it, but yeah, it's funny talking about all that stuff. And the Motor Mouth stickers, yeah, that's where I came across that one's laying in the, I don't know, glove box or wherever.
Right.
I said, oh, another new one, because I think the other one fell apart.
Glenn is the one guy that actually has the sticker on his car, and he has a T-shirt that we put a picture of him up on the web with. Yeah, Glenn represents.
I think I put that T-shirt through its paces, though.
Yeah.
Dirt, paint, rips. That is retired.
That was the idea. Yeah, that was the idea.
No, what T-shirt contest?
No. You can only cut them up or get holes so much before it's like, that looks pretty shabby.
Yeah.
You still wear that? Like, yeah, I like those kind of clothes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So how's the car, Glenn? What's up with the Camaro?
Well, I recently moved. It's been kind of real busy and setting up, like, got to do things around the house. Still
Nice.
unpacking.
Wow, that happened faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, the car, it's funny. I moved it.
Can you come help me?
I had driven it a lot, and all of a sudden it's like it runs like garbage. I'm like, what happened?
Really?
I think that's, who knows, maybe it's spark related. In other words, maybe it's a foul plug.
Yeah, you might have picked up a piece of crap in the carburetor.
How old's the gas?
Well, I was driving it. So point is, it's still running, but I said, no, I'm not going to use it right now. I just moved it. So I got settled in. It's been about a month, but everything's all over the place. Like, you're talking tools and organizing, and I said, well, I got to do all that.
Right.
I'll be lucky to find a screwdriver and my socket set. So anyway, trying to get things together, and hopefully I'll, go through that car and get it running again. But it's just busy. So I've been trying to listen when I could. And we're upstate right now, so I said, let me use the old internet to listen.
Yeah. So listen, if you don't have time, I get it. If you want your carburetor looked at, I'll go through it for you. No problem. Just either point me to it and I'll take it off, or you can take it off and drop it off, and I'll go through it for you.
I'm hoping I'll pull it off and put that fuel injection on it.
Well, right.
Look back, but
that's the other way. Yeah.
It could be a quick fix. I have a feeling it's nothing. In other words, nothing major. It's just makes all of a sudden like, what would make it stop? Not to say stop, but it's like a miss. And I said, I'll just go through it and figure that out.
Just go through the wires, make sure they're all tight. Maybe one just came loose. Weird things happen.
Could be something like that. I forget when it was, years back, looking for a spark-related issue. You check things under the hood at night.
Right. Look for the light show. Mike had just given me a cool tool/toy. It's a spark plug checker. You put a good plug in and a bad plug in, and you can vary what would be the RPM, and you can look at the spark on the plug, so you can see if that plug is firing or not. Right. So I got that too. I haven't played with it yet, but I have it sitting in the garage.
So I'm hoping to get things organized. I got to get back into the mode where you're like, oh, I'm going to fix this, I'm going to do that, and it's just not happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been busy, but that's what's happening. And otherwise, I'd be fooling around, driving the car around. It's just and there's other family things happening, and then here we are upstate. So I said, let's get away for the weekend. So that's that.
I got to say, one of my favorite truisms came from John Lennon, who said, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. And boy, is that ever true.
And other plans take all the time.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'll be in touch. Just wanted to say what's up. Hearing you guys talk about all the funny things with, badging toolboxes is kind of funny.
Yeah. All right, Glenn.
That's not bad. No. That's a beat up old Craftsman.
Right. Well, good luck with the transition with the new house. I should get you over to show me how to do it, because that's what I'm planning on doing, and it's going to be like a big job. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll you mentioned in tools and stuff. I moved more stuff, and I'm like, do I need this, or should I get rid of that? And I'm like, oh, it's got value. Yeah. Well, I might use that again. And sure enough, I moved a whole bunch of junk.
Okay. Well, hey.
But
it's your junk, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in touch.
All right, Glenn. Thanks.
Take care, Glenn. Thanks for calling.
All right. Good old Glenn. Yeah. I remember him saying he was moving. I didn't realize it happened that fast. Wow. Yeah. Like you or I are the two people that everybody says, or like the people like, God, if either one of those guys has to move, they're going to be really in trouble. Like, yeah, I know.
I know. When I got out of turning wrenches and I got tired of tripping over stuff, I was selling some stuff and giving away stuff until I needed it.
Yeah.
I had a strut machine and I got tired of tripping over it, trying to find a place for it. And then of course, I needed to put struts in my car, and I gave the tool away, and I was like, never again, because then I had to go to one of my shops and borrow their stuff and work there instead of in my own.
Yeah.
And so after that, I said, well, I'm just not getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I'll continue to move the stuff around.
And then it's like, how often do you, use stuff with, like, I have saws. I have a chop saw sitting under my one bench. I think I used it once, probably 15, 16 years ago. I should get rid of it, but it's going to happen if I do.
Yeah, you'll need it.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough.
to be continued. To be continued. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you're gonna be out of the tool truck making things nice for the week to come.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm actually I'm doing my Harbor Freight run. I got to go look for a few people. So
nice, very good, very good.
And Brianna, my oldest, needs to go out to my storage unit. We're gonna get the. Last week I needed more hoodies and jackets, and of course now it's nice, but I need to get through the inventory. So
right, yeah, good. That's it. Yeah, it never ends. Yeah, work
never ends for sure. So, but I really appreciate it. I hope everybody, likes, follows, and leaves a comment. We gotta
be like Keith. What do we? We're at the end now. We're gonna get out of here. So, what do I tell people that are probably milling around my car out there trying to take the wheels and brake pads off it?
Don't follow us. Follow us on social media, but don't follow us home.
You know what? They wouldn't be able to figure out how to take the Fiat calipers off. They're kind of a little funny. So, all right, Brian, thank you very much for coming in this week. We appreciate it. We'll be back. Actually, we won't be live next week. We'll have a show up because Chris and I both have something we got to do. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Chris Switzer, Ray Guarino, and Matcoman Brian whenever we need to fill in. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Be safe.
Stay tuned for Kim on 90.3 WHPC. See ya.